All right. So this is where we left off. We have completed all the journals, right, for the end of the month. So now we're completing our unadjusted trial balance. Okay, so that means it's going to require our ledger and our financial forms, and that's it. Okay, so this time, instead of having it done through every single account, I said that I want you to do it with main accounts. So instead of having to, start all over, we're going to actually make a copy of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create extra columns so that it makes it a lot more easier to do things. So I'm going to go ahead and click the unadjusted trial balance once again. I'm going to delete this this form, and then I'm going to make a copy of this. Okay, so move and make a copy. So make sure you hit that create a new copy. I'm going to put it on the adjusted trial balance. Okay, so here you go. So here's the trial balance from before, and I've created a copy of it. So I'm going to change this to say okay, and I'm going to rename this here as well. And I'm going to change this because the date is different as well. It's for the 30th, right? The end of the month. Now, as I've also mentioned this too, I also want to create columns in between. So I would click on C, and I want to insert a column here. I'm going to click on B and also insert a column here. Okay. So what you're going to notice is now I've created these columns like this. So I'm going to shrink up this real quick, and I'm going to format my columns accordingly because I need to be able to see everything on here. Okay, so I have my debits. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is I'm also going to have a debit column and a credit column. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them different colors so we are able to see the difference between the two. So I'm going to start off with, I'm going to make them blue. Okay, so I'm going to make the font color blue. Okay, and I'm also going to make this one, right? Because what I'm going to do is the left side's going to be the main accounts. The right side is going to be the all the accounts or sub accounts if you want to put it that way. So then now I can tell the difference between them. Okay. So, and then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start inserting one at a time and placing them in there while making my main accounts visible. Okay. So for example, okay, so now we're going to start off with the very first one, which is my bank account. My bank account, right, consists of my checking, my petty cash, and my cash in register. So let's go ahead and start with that one first. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click this, and I'm going to insert a row above it, and I'm going to name this one the bank account, right? I know that my my main accounts are going to be in blue, right? I don't know if you can tell the difference here, but that's blue. And what this is going to be is it's going to be an equal sum of my checking account, petty cash, and my cash in register. So therefore, what I'm doing is I am making a column for my main accounts, and I'm just using the right side to just add all my accounts up together. Instead of having to do this manually and having to enter in a formula, at least once I do this, I can hide my columns if I'd like. If I wanted to, once I'm done with this, right, I can go ahead and right click this and I can hide this column. So then now I only view what I want to see. Okay? And of course, to unhide, you're going to have to click in between to unhide. Okay? Straightforward. That's the cool thing about Excel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through every single one. So then these numbers are going to be only strictly main accounts. Okay? So my first one is my checking, petty cash, and my cash and register. And what we're going to do is we're going to update the sub accounts as we go. So here, the checking is now 13,693.58. Okay. Petty cash is still 500, and the cash and register is still $310. So now my total money in my bank account should be 14,503.58. Okay. Good so far. So then, next account I have here, my main account is going to be accounts receivable. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to change the color. Since I already have my main account there, it is going to be equal to this account right here. So that's my main account. Okay. Oops. Okay, so that's my main account here, and since there's only one cell, I just equaled that one. So in this case, my current balance in my accounts receivable account is 15,391.95. Right underneath accounts receivable, right, we have a contra account, but we're not going to deal with that till later, right? After the trial balance, we have the adjustments. Okay. So next one is business supplies. So I need to add another column in here for business supplies. Okay. Under business supplies is going to be my medium, large, sugar, and my creamer. Okay. So that's what it's currently totaled at, but let's go ahead and double confirm it. So my medium cups is now at a total of $378.87. My large cups is now $568.33. My sugar is 64.80, and my creamer is 538.89. Give me a grand total of business supplies to be 1550.89. Okay. My next account is office supplies. Office supplies. Which is a main account. Okay. And office supplies is still 150. And not that it hasn't changed. Then we have inventory. Right? Which consists of my regular coffee and my Supreme coffee. Excuse me. Okay. So let's go ahead and see how much regular coffee I have left. I have $20.82 left. And let's see, for my Supreme coffee, I have $133.70. Giving me a grand total inventory to be $154.52. Next, I have my furniture. Right? We didn't do ceramic coffee mugs yet because it's periodic inventory. So we don't have it as inventory yet. So next we have is furniture. Excuse me. Which consists of my bistro tables, my counter, desk, and shelves. Okay. So let's go ahead and go through that one more time. My bistro tables is still 66,000 or 6,600. Sorry. My counter is $11.93. My desk is $6.58, and my shelves is $577.08. So in this case, my total furniture is $9,033.75. We haven't done the accumulated yet, so that's going to be something that's going to be an adjustment. So all of those we will add in later. Okay. Then we have our office equipment. Okay. Which is my computer, printer, and cash register. So again, computer still at 1834. My printer still 378, and then my cash register still 649. So in grand total, 2863.20 for my office equipment. Okay. Then we have actual equipment. which is my coffee brewer and coffee grinder. Coffee brewer is at 4,505 plus my coffee grinder at 4,145, giving me a grand total of 8,650.86. Then we have vehicles, which is the truck. Right, I only have one account under vehicles, which is my truck. And my truck is still standing at 32,208.90. Then we have prepaid accounts, which is my main account. So all of these right here are your main accounts. Okay. So we got prepaid, we got deposits, and we got goodwill. So prepaid is still 665,417. Deposits is still 1,700, and goodwill is still 2,100. And that is it for all of my assets. So again, if you take a look at compared my main accounts to my sub accounts, right? I just did like let me see how many accounts that was. I just did about 20 accounts and summed them up into 10 accounts. Okay, so it's just shrinking up the information and making them a little more concise. Okay. So now I can go ahead and move on to my next set of accounts, which is going to be my liabilities. Okay. First one we have here is my accounts payable account. So accounts payable. So accounts payable, right, is already a main account. My Visa payable is already a main account, and my notes payable is a main account. So let's take a look at my accounts payable. How much am I at in my accounts payable? So right now I'm at 3,885.21. 3,885.21. Okay, and notice I'm changing the black numbers and keeping the blue numbers as formulas. Okay. Let's take a look at my Visa payable, which is 1885.89. Okay. And my cash register is still the same at or my notes payable is still the same at 649.49. Okay. So then I have payroll liabilities. Payroll liabilities is going to be all of these things that have to do with payroll. So I'm going to insert, okay, and call this payroll liabilities. Okay. And my payroll liabilities is going to consist my FITW, OASDI, HI, FICA, FUTA, SUTA, and workers' comp. Okay. So let's go through all of that. Okay. My FICA, or in this case, sorry, FITW is 4160. My OASEI is 3373. HI is $7.89. FICA is 4162. FUTA is 3264. SUDA is 1632. Workers' comp is $7.40, giving me a grand total of payroll liabilities to be a total of $179.76. Let's see. Utilities, liabilities, we don't have any, right? We haven't started to pay for rent yet, so nothing there. Unearned revenue is 0, okay? Sales tax payable would be my next main account. So sales tax payable, okay? Which is right now currently $2,046.11. Okay. Interest payable, we haven't calculated that yet. And then we have loans, which is consisting of bank or business and truck loan. So I'm gonna insert loans here. Right, and my loans is still outstanding at $29,221.90. Okay. So those were all my liabilities. So moving on to the next one, my revenues. I'm sorry, my equity. Equity, I have just regular owner's equity and my owner's withdrawal, and those are still the same. So I'm going to, okay. Owner's equity is still at 30,000, and my owner's withdrawal is still 3,000. Okay. Then going on to my revenues. My revenues, we're going to be inserting a main account here, which is going to be my total sales. So insert sales. Okay, so this makes it much easier to total up your total sales without having the breakdown of how much you sold of everything. So in this case, my formula here is going to be equal sum, and it's going to have my sales medium regular coffee, or sorry, the pounds first. So sales regular coffee, supreme coffee, the coffee mugs, the medium regular, large regular, medium supreme, and large supreme. Okay. So there we have it. Okay. So now we're going to make changes, okay, to all the sales accordingly. Starting with the first one, sales for regular coffee is currently at $13.94.96. Okay. My sales for Supreme Coffee is $14.36.40. My ceramic coffee mugs is $1763.91. My medium regular coffees is 5221.76. Okay. My my large regular is at 6503.25. 6503.25. Oops. 6503.25. My medium supreme is at 665577. Okay. And last but not least, my large supreme is 7524.44. 7524.44. Okay. 7524.44. Okay, so giving me a grand total sales to be 30,549. You had a question?
No.
Magni, your microphone is on. Thank you. So if you had um, so here my total sales was 30,549 cents. Okay. Sales returns and allowances. Yes, I know this is a contra account, but again, a contra account could be a contra main account. It doesn't have to necessarily be a sub account. So I'm gonna go ahead and we have this one with the sales discount. Those are going to be contra main accounts. So they too are going to have their own separate. Now again, sales returns and allowances is a debit, and sales discount is also a debit. So sales returns and allowances, let's see how much we have. We have a total of $19.96, which is correct. And then sales discounts is now 1,989 cents. Okay. Delivery income, right? Which is a credit, right? It's our money that we earned, and it's $300. Okay. Then interest income, don't have any. All right. So now we have the cost of goods sold. So we need to insert cost of goods sold, which is just going to be for my regular plus my supreme coffee. So let me see, my regular cost of goods sold is $1407.68. $1407.68. And then my cost of goods sold for the supreme coffee is currently $1488.55. Okay. So that's all the cost of goods sold because we haven't done ceramic coffee mugs and we haven't talked about the cost of material yet. Okay. So therefore, last section we have here is going to be all of our expenses. So let's go through every single one. Starting off with advertising expense, business, freight, insurance. All of those are going to be main accounts, so we can make them all blue. Starting with the first one, advertising expense is still $185. Okay. Business expense, no bank fees yet. Business expense is going to be $1,000. Then we have our freight expense. Okay, freight expense is $500, so that hasn't changed. Okay. Then we have our insurance expense at $195.83, so that hasn't changed yet. And then we have interest expense, none yet. Then we have labor expense, which consists of the subcontractor and the temporary work labor. So insert here, labor expense, which equals this plus this. Okay? So let's take a look. Subcontractors $1,890 plus $252 to give me a total of $2,142. Okay. Next one we have here is the license and permit expense, which is still at $375. Then you have loss on disposal of asset for $2,000. Okay. And then now we have office supplies expense. We haven't adjusted them yet, so nothing there. And then we have a payroll expense, which is going to be consisting of your salaries and wages expense, your commissions, and your payroll taxes. Okay. So my salaries is $544. Commissions was $140.18 and payroll tax was $97.98, giving me a grand total of $782. $782 and 16 cents. Next, we have purchase expense, which is at $1,092.20. Okay. Now this account here, purchase returns allowances. Once again, it's the same idea. It's a contra main account. Okay, so this is I'll show you what you can do if you want to combine it. Okay. Purchase returns and allowances is going to be for $22.24. Okay. And then let's see what else we have here. We have purchase discount, rent expense. And then you can run your formula once again. All right. And then let me see here. My formula for my main, okay, hold on. My formula for my main accounts is going to be my debits minus my credits here, and my debits minus my credits for these accounts. So again, blue is your main, black is everything. So all your sub accounts. Okay. And looks like I end with both zeros on each side. So I match my main accounts at 9109, which is the same as my debits and credits for the sub accounts. Okay. And that's what I want to do here, because what I can do is, again, like I showed you earlier, I can hide my columns if I only want to see a specific item. I can even hide my sub accounts if I'd like, okay? And then I can either, collapse them if I'd like, okay? Or expand if I'd like, okay? So I can hide a lot of information, but right now, a lot of the information I have now is exactly what I'm looking for, right? I have the column for my main accounts and the column for my sub accounts, okay? And that is it for the unadjusted, because we panned out everything is even on the debit and credit side. Any questions?
No.